So I've deleted most of my social media, not deleted the account, but most of my social media, just the apps on my phone, for about a couple of weeks now, almost a month, and running. And here's what I found. Social media, I do want to point out, we all use it quite a lot, and it's also an important tool in a lot of ways. So I'm not going to sit here and say, ban social media, never use it. This is not what I'm trying to say. Social media can be used for good as well. But I think also the detox, which I've intentionally started to pursue as well, so that, I'm not, because I needed the detox, number one. And I wanted to stay away from social media and just like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all that for a while. I wanted to also analyze in myself what the changes were, and here's what I found. And like I said, it is I'm still in. I've still got Instagram and all the other social media apps deleted. In terms of consuming content, in terms of creating content, whether you want to call YouTube a social media platform or not, obviously I use it to create content. But I'm not including YouTube in this. I'm including just mainly the apps where it's all about just doom scrolling, and that's like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Uh, so number one is the first week. It's kind of funny because there's a mix of relief, um, satisfaction, but also a craving. So what I mean by relief and craving is what I mean by relief and satisfaction is the fact that I've deleted the apps and I've actually started a journey of refraining from using these social media apps, especially Instagram and TikTok, which were my main kind of culprits and the main two apps that I was using the most. It's because it's so easy to just start doom scrolling on those two apps. Um, so I felt a relief and I felt a satisfaction from the fact that I deleted it, and I'm on this journey now. A lot of people, even if they're aware, this is important to point out, even when they're aware that they're using social media, if they can even name the social media app that they're using mostly, for them to even think about deleting it for a day or 2 days, it's like unfathomable. They can't even think about doing that. I deleted the apps and I'm on this journey now, so I felt a relief and I felt satisfied in doing so. The craving is obviously the most obvious thing here. As soon as I deleted it the first week, I just wanted to download the apps again and start, using it. And I think I can't speak for anyone else, but I can speak for myself. If not all the times I go on the app, when I used to go on the apps, Instagram and TikTok, my mind would be, I'm not going to scroll too. I'd be thinking I'm not going to scroll too long. I'm not even just going to start doom scrolling. That wasn't my intention. It was just to use the app a bit, just to check up a bit on, what the world's saying, what my feed shows me. Maybe look at, a lot of the times I'm just watching like martial art videos as well, tips and tricks. That's all I'm going to do, right? But then a 5 minute usage ends up being 20 minutes and then 25 minutes and then half an hour, and then it becomes a habit of you scrolling for half an hour every single morning you wake up before work or before you start your day. And this is the problem, because these 5, 10, 25, 30 minutes add up to 2 hours, 3 hours per week, and then that adds up to 10, 11 hours per per month, and then even more, a lot more, like 20 hours, 30 hours. People underestimate how long they spend on social media, especially when you've got Instagram. You've got an Instagram account, you've got a Facebook account, you've got a TikTok account, you've got YouTube if you want to doom scroll on that. You've got X. So you've got about 4 or 5 accounts here, and then you hop off one app and then go on to another app. And what you're forgetting is, if these apps, which most likely they do know of your interests and what you like watching, they're just recycling through similar content and they're just posting on all these apps. So you're watching, for example, a football match which happened last night, and you're watching it on Instagram. You're watching another set of highlights of that same match on TikTok, and then Facebook, and then Instagram, and then YouTube, and then X, and that's just one aspect. And then there's a bunch of other videos that you'll see Donald Trump on X, then you'll see Donald Trump saying the same thing, but in another angle on Instagram, on YouTube. So that's a bit of a rant going there, but the main thing is, in my first week, I was having a craving to go back onto the social media apps. But one thing about me, and one thing you got to know about yourself, is your strengths and your weaknesses. And one of my strengths is also my resilience. So I stayed strong, and I made sure not to download back the apps. Sometimes I did need it for essential things, but it'd be like a 2-minute download and then do whatever I needed to do and then delete the app again. And then week 2 would be, my productivity slowly increasing. So where I'd be spending, let's say, 25-30 minutes in the morning scrolling, I'd use that time to get up out my bed earlier, and then maybe do things that are more productive, whatever it could be, whatever your productivity stuff are. And this has helped me a lot, because these minutes, like I said, they add up. 30 minutes of doom scrolling compared to 30 minutes of push-ups, 30 minutes of running, 30 minutes of cleaning your house, 30 minutes of whatever it can be spent a lot better. And then you end up accumulating a lot more productivity amount over the course of days and weeks and months, and then you become a lot better as a person. So that's one aspect. So my productivity definitely increased a lot in my second week. And I was also craving less of the social media apps. This is the main thing. This actually applies to most things in life as well, if not almost everything. Think of it like a sugary drink. I don't really crave sugary drinks anymore. If I ever have one, it'll be very, very rarely. But most of the meals that I have, if not all my meals nowadays, is just whatever I have with water. So that'll be my drink. Once you stop drinking fizzy, sugary drinks, soda, pop, whatever you want to call it, you stop craving it. The only reason why you'd be craving a sugary drink usually is because, obviously, sometimes I do crave a Coca-Cola, I get that, but it's not like I've had it, it's not like I have it every day or whatever. I actually rarely have it, but still. The main reason why you'd be craving sugary drinks is because you had it yesterday, or you've been having it 3 days in a row. So your body wants that sugar again. Your body wants that drink again. But if you don't drink it for a month and you've been drinking water every day, your body's not going to crave it, and you're going to be okay with drinking water. That's what an addiction is, literally. A drug addiction. If you've never took heroin, you're never going to crave heroin. You might want to try it. You might want to try cocaine. But if you've never had it, you're not going to be craving it. You're either not going to want it and not going to need it, or you might be just interested in it. But that's it. You're not going to be... It's physically impossible for you to crave something that you've never had, or that you haven't had in so long. So... yeah, I stopped, my craving for social media, in the same sense, lowered a lot. And in my third week, I'm probably in my third or fourth week by now, I feel good. I'm not waking up and craving Instagram. This is the main thing. I feel like a lot of people, the scary thing is, most people who are scrolling and doom scrolling, they don't even know it, but they do crave it, and it's detrimental to their dopamine, to their mental health as well, if they're not using social media. But you got to sacrifice a couple of days of not using and deleting the apps for you to detox, and then start going back to your normal baseline state of dopamine. And that's the main message of the video, where you need to understand that I'm here and I've done it. Like, I'm someone who is used to a social media addiction. Sometimes you just scroll and you just keep on going, and it happens to all of us, especially when you use social media for creating content like me, or just recreational use. Any addiction that you've got, the main thing is you need to identify what the issue is, and then you need to start taking steps in order to remove the addiction, to remove the bad habit. And then you're going to go through a stage of tough, like it's going to be a tough time. You're going to be really craving it. It might be a couple of days, might be a couple of weeks, might be months, however long, but you're going to have to go through that patch, and then you come out in ease. So with every hardship there is ease, and that's the saying in the Quran. So it's a very important saying as well. It's something that I'm a big believer in. But yeah, I've stopped using social media for a while. I'll probably go back on it when I want to, not when I need to, but when I want to. But it will be not today, so I'm good for today. But I think the main thing is to acknowledge that social media, if you're going to use it well, and not to be addicted to it, because most people get addicted before they know it, and then it just becomes a habit with them doom scrolling every single day, in between their breaks, before work, after work, and you're not really doing much other than scrolling and doing your usual duties in life, and then just going back to scrolling. So yeah, that's it. Catch you in the next video.